Urban economies have dramatically changed in the past 20-30 years. And cities have not become dependent only on service and information industries, but above all, they have developed the so-called creative economies. Different types of cultural clusters have come up in many urban centers. Abandoned buildings have been reused, transformed in knowledge factories for designers, architects, advertisers, artists, musicians, and all those young entrepreneurs working in the media industry. As the sociologist Richard Florida put it, to compete, cities have to open to diversity, to innovation and to technology. And by fostering this virtuous cycle, they would be able to attract a particular category of human capital, the so-called creative class. These processes of urban regeneration have often fostered different social and cultural phenomena, of which gentrification is probably the most well known. The classical gentrification is the combination of residential and social aspects. It consists of physical rehabilitation of inner city neighborhoods, mainly pursued by middle-class gentrifiers. As a consequence of the price spiral in the real estate market, the original inhabitants are very often displaced. The growth of the creative class impacts not only on the social composition of urban quarters, but affects also the aesthetics, their economy, and eventually the entire identity of the urban space. Scholars from different disciplines question not only whether gentrification has brought about positive or negative effects, but also they doubt the validity of top-down cultural policies aimed at developing this creative milieu. The question then is, can we really plan creativity? Some argue that the famous creative quarters around the world, for instance, Montmartre in Paris at the beginning of the 20th century, or the Rive Gauche in Paris, Brera in Milan in the 70s, Soho in New York in the 70s, were never planned as such. So they were the result of a spontaneous convergence of different creative people. And again, are we dealing here with a genuine interest in cultural advancement? With accurate cultural strategies aimed at the stimulation and development of autonomous artistic values? Or, rephrasing the words of the sociologist Sharon Zuking, is it merely another functionalization of culture, exploiting culture for the sake of a re-centralized landscape of consumption and catering for new middle classes consumers? A truly bottom-up approach to cultural planning should not be limited to the participation of professionals and practitioners in the decision-making process, but should also guarantee access and opportunities to a wider range of citizens. Cities call for new models of cultural management and cultural governance. Best practices suggest a multi-level approach, which would be able to overcome the traditional dichotomies between profit and non-for-profit, or between creative industries and subsidized culture. And best practices also promote a major integration and vertical coordination of policies between local, regional, and national institutions.